I'm Brittany and I'm the marketing manager at Grosche. I'm a Grosche. And today I'm going to walk you through my morning coffee routine. So you guys can come on in. So this is my kitchen. Today it's really clean, which is great because it's not always like this, but I did it just for you guys. And today we're going to be making pour-over coffee because personally that's my favorite way of making my coffee in the morning. So we're going to be using the Grosche Amsterdam, which I love because it comes with a stainless steel reusable filter. Rather than buying a bunch of paper filters, I just wash this and reuse it. So that's great. We're also going to be using one of our newer products, which is the Albany Weigh Scale. This is important for pour-over coffee because you have to measure out your coffee beans just to make sure the ratio of coffee to water is correct. And we're going to be using the Bremen Burr Coffee Grinder. I love this grinder because it actually comes with 20 different settings, which is great depending on how strong or what type of coffee you're making because you can go from super fine to really coarse. So having all those settings is great. And we're going to be using the Costa Rica Rainforest coffee. I love using this coffee because it's actually Rainforest Alliance certified, which means it supports local farms and communities and actually has to follow a ton of environmental and social criteria in order to be certified. And it's just important to me that my coffee is ethically sourced. And then finally, we're going to be using the Marrakesh gooseneck kettle. This is great for pour-over coffee because it gives you a lot of control as you're pouring. So the first step to pour over coffee is measuring out our coffee beans. So I'm just going to grab the Albany and our beans. Put that down here. For pour over, you want 1.5 to 2 grams of coffee for every ounce of water. And our Amsterdam here is 28 ounces. That means you'd want at least 42 to 50 grams of coffee. I like my coffee a little more weak, so I'm probably going to go with the 42 on the weaker side. So we're going to go ahead and turn on the Albany. I'm just going to zero out this filter and pour it in the beans. And then we'll bring this over to the grinder. So for the settings, it's 1 to 20. So 1 means like really fine, and then it goes up from there to like a medium and then a more coarse setting. So I'm going to put this at 15 because as I mentioned earlier, you want more of a medium to coarse grind for pour over coffee. Definitely want to make sure everyone's awake before you turn this thing on. The benefits of using a burr grinder over a blade grinder is actually the blades will slice the beans whereas a burr crushes them. So it's way more precise and consistent using a burr over a blade. So before I pour the grinds in here, I'm actually going to go ahead and heat up some water. Bring that to a boil, that way it's ready to go to pour over our coffee. So we're just waiting for the water to boil. You can meet my kitty. Her name is Misty and she's super cute. But she's also really needy. Now that our water is boiled, we're pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to take the grounds, I'll take the lid off here and pour it into the filter. And now we're going to use the water to bloom the coffee. So essentially what that means is I'm just going to pour a little bit, just enough to soak all the grounds that are in there and then let that sit for roughly 30 seconds. Once you do this, you'll see that it'll start to bubble. That's carbon dioxide being released from the grounds, and carbon dioxide in coffee kind of has a sour taste to it. So it's good that we're releasing that, and the blooming has helped develop the flavor of the coffee. That looks good to go, and now that we've waited 30 seconds, we can go ahead and finish the pour. I'm just going to continue my pour in a circular motion, kind of fill it a bit, and then let it rest and drain. This is kind of like a nice, soothing process. The Marrakesh has a long neck. It's called a gooseneck. So that helps me a lot with pouring because it's not gonna just all come out at once. It gives me a lot more control with how much I pour over the coffee. And we're just about there. Now that we're done pouring all the water in, the nice thing about the Amsterdam is I can take the upper chamber off and use the bottom as like a coffee carafe. So I can pour right into my mug. And then this, I just take out the stainless steel filter and I'll go pour that in the garbage. So if you excuse me, I'll just be right back. And the great thing about all these products is that they contribute to the Grosche Safe Water projects. So for every Grosche product sold, we fund 50+ days of safe drinking water to people in need in underdeveloped countries. So it's great because not only are you getting quality products, but you're also giving back to those in need. I'm just gonna grab a couple Fresnos. These Fresno glasses are great because they're double walled. So not only are they very pretty, but they actually keep your coffee hotter longer than regular mugs. So this is our pour-over coffee. And I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this with my friend Brooke here, and we're gonna get back to work. So thank you guys so much for coming, and let us know what demo you'd like to see next, what recipe, or what coffee you'd like us to try. So see you guys.